fellow Nigerians, a happy new month to you. I'm Jacob Tewa Jingi. I'm the convener, New Nigeria Agenda. We are a group on Facebook. So if we search the group, which is currently hosting this live broadcast, you search it on Facebook, you will even meet us live here. You can see our previous live broadcast. You can see our post. You see my name there. I'm the one that posts mostly, though it's not a rule. Yes, and that is reminding my compatriots already members of the Facebook group. If you have a post, a meaningful post about Nigeria, any of the 36 states, any of the 774 local governments, you are free to post. You are free to post. If it has to do with your personal, professional line of experience and expertise, insight, or inspiration, that is welcome too, because that can also help in nation building. Anything that will help to achieve the new Nigeria agenda of our dream, our collective dream, that is welcome. And so I invite you, if you have that passion to make Nigeria work and you have content to dish out, feel free to always post here. The admin will approve, and eventually you could operate a lot easier based on how consistent you are in dishing out value. So I invite you, if you're a member of the group, if you're not a member, join and contribute as well. Right? So search us on Facebook, the New Nigeria Agenda, you will find us there. We're also a group on LinkedIn. You will find us, our account is also on Instagram. And last but not the least, we are on YouTube. Yes. So after this broadcast, you are going to see even this video on our YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed, try to subscribe. Hopefully, I will post the link to the YouTube channel here shortly after this program, so that most people who are interested will go there and you'll find the other videos together. That is the outstanding benefit of YouTube in this regard. You know, it has to do with videos. So when you go there, all our live broadcast here, from the date that YouTube channel was created, all those live broadcasts are there. And so you can catch up not only with the latest, you can even go back to the previous ones, so that you follow the flow of the gist. So you're welcome. I'm looking forward to receiving and welcoming you on all these platforms. All these platforms. Your contributions will be valued and appreciated too. So like I said, I'm Jacob Tewa Jingi. I'm the convener of New Nigeria Agenda. You can find us on all of these social media platforms that I have mentioned. I'm looking forward to receiving and welcoming you there. The topic I've chosen for us to reflect and discuss for this month of April is forming right conversations for right actions and outcomes. I'll repeat, forming right conversations for right actions and outcomes. So I'm not just speaking grammar. Every word here is related. Every word here is important. But to start with, forming right conversations. Okay? What are you posting every day on your Facebook timeline or other social media accounts? What exactly are you posting there? Is this something that will make this country to change for the better? Okay, is it something that will set this country on the right trajectory? Okay, we should always pause to ask ourselves that question. This country is our own, and if there's no post, no matter what else you are doing, I don't care whether you are a successful banker, you are a successful waiting. If you are not interested in what is happening in this country and you are not talking about it, you are not different from the criminals out there. It's as serious as that. So if you are seeing a sudden change of expression with the way I'm saying it, it is that serious. So I want to stress it. I want to stress it. I've been saying it here times with that number. What most of us post on Facebook or other social media channels is completely useless. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg and the rest will be cashing in and out based on our stupidity, and that's why most times they don't care about the stupid ones. It's those that make sense that they are coming after. You know, if you go to my email now, you see so many ridiculous mails from Facebook every day, threatening me, harassing me. Your account, your page also will be shut down. And what is it? No issue of substance. Because personally, I would love to have a situation where these people, you know, yes, we'll get back to that point. There is something I was getting. I would like a situation where even on Facebook, these social media accounts, they're also transparent and accountable. Because if we're talking of democracy, it's not just in the home countries of the owners of these social media platforms. How they operate on the global stage matters too. If you say I'm doing something that violates intellectual property rights, bring it even on that post. Let everyone see it. So let there be no doubt, okay? Let there be no doubt. And I think people that don't love Nigeria have resumed work. Yes, my elder Tesejo, thank you for coming. Yes, we will bring you on at a point to make your inputs into this discussion. So please hang on. There are some key points I have to make here. And then whoever comes on board, I think the person is very much free to also make inputs or contributions. So there has to be that transparency, whatever we are doing. And we are all accountable. We are all accountable. From the local area where we all operate to the international stage, we are all accountable. You cannot be making money from my post, and every day you come into my mail harassing me. You know, these are issues. So to me, I will raise them. I will raise them. Maybe at a point, 1 or 2 persons will take note of it. So it's very important. Some of the things we post are useless. And unfortunately, those are the things that social media platforms are encouraging these days. If you make meaningful posts, you're even punished. Okay, you can see Nigeria trying to punish me already for coming live with this discussion. Okay, yes, light was on not too long, but since I started, they have been interfering with it frequently. So, what I'm saying in essence, check what you post. Check what you post. Is it meaningful? Is it useful? And does it in any way have a bearing on the situation in Nigeria? On the new Nigeria agenda that all of us aspire to. Okay? If you're a banker, you are making money, but what happens in Nigeria does not concern you. I repeat it, you're a criminal. And I have no regret for saying it. Yes, you're a criminal. You can say, well, I don't want to look for those people trouble. You are part of the trouble already. Because so long as you watch what is happening without showing concern, you're only strengthening the hands of evil. That's how evil will continue to thrive. Okay? Or you are a celebrity. And I've made that point here times with that number. Celebrities that come and make money online. based on a number of Mumu followers, because Mumu followers are increasing. We have millions of Mumu followers in Nigeria now. Any nonsense person, they follow the person. Any nonsense post, they follow the post. So that is why most times I even hesitate to call those people celebrities. What makes you a celebrity? You are posting nonsense and nonsense people are following you, and those things have no meaningful impact on our country. Is that who a celebrity is? So most times I say, if we have sense, we'll start on following most of these so-called celebrities on Facebook, everywhere, because they are not contributing anything meaningful. Whether it has to do with Nigeria or not, you will not even see anything of substance in most of their contents. Okay, they make you laugh for 3, 5, less than a minute, and then you waste your data watching their whole content, but you won't come here. Most people won't come here to watch this. Only few persons that have passion for Nigeria will come here now. Most people won't come. Okay? And I'm saying it out of experience. I believe all of you there can also relate to this. You are having an important conversation like this. Some people don't even think it's important. So that is it, but I will not go too long on that. In essence, what I'm saying is we should start having conversations. Every one of us in our little corner, start a conversation there. You know, Nigeria is such an interesting country now that before you start discussing one issue that is on ground, another comes up. Okay? So, thank God, Power Holding are agreeing with us now. Before you finish discussing a particular issue, you'll find that maybe 10 more issues have come up. So you can see the confusion, even when you mean to tackle an issue. Okay, that's why it's good to focus. If I'm on the issue of Fulani Herdsmen militia, I should face that issue squarely. While someone else is facing maybe the issue of Natasha and the rest in the Senate. Okay, but let's not be distracted. Whatever issues come up, God has already given you an issue to attend to. That's what I believe. And so focus on that issue. Why I focus on the one that has already taken my attention. So we must all form conversations around Nigeria, and not any kind of conversation. We all want a new Nigeria. We all want a better Nigeria. What kind of Nigeria do we want? That is where the conversation can start from. Okay? What kind of Nigeria do we aspire to? That's why I summarize it under the caption, New Nigeria Agenda. Whatever we aspire to see in that new Nigeria, that is the agenda for us. That is the agenda for us. Okay? I'm happy I say something here. Some Nigerians are taking it serious. Okay, whether they heard me directly or not, maybe they later heard it through someone that participated here. I've been saying no matter what, make your voices heard on the various social platforms. When a serious issue comes up, don't be distracted. Make noise about it. Not for one day, not for a week, not for a month, for as long as possible. Until you get the attention of the appropriate authorities, whoever is concerned. And then the issue is tackled. Okay, that is when you can move on or move away from that issue to another one. Okay? We can all make noise, and it will make some impact. It will record some success, because I said it somewhere. We can all pretend that the politicians don't care. They care. The only thing is, like I said previously, they are like small children. The moment your eyes are away from them, they start misbehaving. And if you don't look back, if your eyes don't focus on them again, that's how they'll continue to get worse in that misbehavior. So the reason they're able to misbehave, bring on one misbehavior after the other, It's because we, the citizens, don't seem to be looking. Okay? We don't seem to care what they are doing. Okay, like children in the house now, maybe before you know it, one of the children is trying to break the TV. If my eyes are not there, they will break the TV. They'll probably destroy the laptop too. I met a guy about 2-3 months ago. He was complaining one of my children spoiled my laptop. The politicians in Nigeria are like that. Our eyes, our attention is not on them. They misbehave and they take the license to continue misbehaving, to do worse things than what is annoying you now. So if it's annoying you, you are not saying anything, they will just take it as normal, just like children do. And then they will do something that will annoy you more. I think we are seeing it in Nigeria already. Everything I've been saying here is already unfolding. If you don't caution these guys, your eyes are not on them, you are not saying anything, then expect something worse from what you're experiencing now. I won't give you false hopes. As much as I wish you the best, I wish you a happy new month, I won't guarantee what you will get in this April if you are not serious, if you don't wake up, if you don't sit up. Okay? We have to play our part for things to get better for every one of us. And the right way to get started, make some noise about every issue. Don't be distracted. Make sure you get results. That is why this topic is very crucial. Forming right conversations for right actions and outcomes. Okay? So like I said, a lady, a copper, most of us know the story by now, Copper Raye. She spoke out about the hardship in the country, and more specifically how coppers were still being given peanuts. Even after the what is called minimum wage, not even up to minimum, okay? That their minimum wage they did not start implementing. They did not start paying to coppers. So this lady, out of frustration, had to voice out. We all know the story, so I won't go too much into the details now. But if you didn't hear the story, you can browse, follow up how everything developed and the rest. But the emphasis is that at the end of the day, her rant, her expression got the attention of all the relevant authorities. Some responded badly, some responded well. Okay? But the key point is that coppers have started receiving their new allowance, 77,000 naira, which is not okay, because to feed very well and move about in this country, even 100,000 naira for a month will not do. That is the reality. But the emphasis here is that speaking out is important. It helps. Like we can see from the example of that copper. I think she kept silent, like how many coppers? I think there should be thousands of coppers out there. Only one spoke out. And that one that spoke out has saved all of them. So the others, we can ask the question, what were the others doing? Dying in silence. And they were happy dying in silence. Some people die but are free. Some people are still alive but they are dead and also not free. Okay, but they are said to be alive. And that is the situation with majority of those coppers, we can say. You are collecting 33,000 naira when they told you that you are supposed to be given new allowance. They haven't started paying, whether deliberately or by omission. And you didn't voice out. Bravo to the copper that spoke out. I will personally vote her. And indeed, I vote her here to be my copper of the year. She's my copper of the year. Okay? I'm still considering who will be the woman or lady of the year. But when it comes to coppers, she's my copper of the year. And that should speak to coppers out there too. When it concerns you, no, rules and regulations are also meant to serve your welfare. So when your welfare is being tampered with, what are rules and regulations? Okay, it's just like a boss at the workplace that doesn't pay workers' salary or doesn't give them the allowances, what is due to them, doesn't give them a conducive working environment, then starts talking about the rules of the workplace. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Okay? So what that corporate did is exemplary. When it concerns your welfare as a person, as an institution, you should follow up. That's why I've been coming out for the leadership of NLC too and TUC. When corpers are being treated anyhow, what are you doing? And if you can no longer do anything, if you're afraid because they have intimidated you, they have caged you, why not give way? The honorable thing to do is give way. The honorable thing to do is give way. Let someone vibrant come in. I can take up that job of NLC president. I'm not bragging. At least I can speak out about what concerns workers. And when it comes to taking actions, there are intelligent corpers who can discuss and arrive at strategies we can implement together. So, NLC leadership, TUC leadership, ESCO of organized labor. You have faith. You have faith. You have faith in every way. Even if you were trying before, the situation now is different. Okay? The picture you paint now has contradicted anything else that was there before that we were seeing and hearing. So it's important, whatever concerns you and me as individuals, as institutions, where you are working, where you are staying. Okay? That's why you see me even coming live here. If Power Holding interrupt me, I will tell you. Because it's good. We know that this is what is happening to us in this country. Okay? And sometimes they interrupt, not when we are idle, but when we are doing something meaningful, like what we are doing now. It's important to speak out. Okay? I will not stop at speaking out. I will not stop at speaking out. Sometimes speaking out can produce consequences, like we have seen in the example I gave concerning the copper. Okay? But there are also times that when you speak out, you should follow up with action. You should follow up with action. And that takes my mind to the state of emergency in Rivers. To their credit, let me say 99% of lawyers have distanced themselves from that political shenanigan, from that brazen lawlessness. Some people say it's a political coup, some people say it's a military coup. I think it's worse. It's the height of political tyranny and lawlessness. Okay? So I'm glad some lawyers, in fact, majority of lawyers have come out to condemn that. But after speaking out, what next? What next? You will not do anything? And if people have opportunities to effect change, lawyers are at the forefront. Yes, lawyers are at the forefront. Who was Nelson Mandela? A lawyer. But I will not go far. Here in Nigeria, I'm missing Ganifa Wemi a lot. I'm missing Ganifa Wemi a lot. Ganifa Wemi would have long taken the federal government to court. Okay? Not minding whoever is there. Because for you to even go against Ganifa Wemi in court, you must prove your own case beyond reasonable doubt, not him now. You, the judge, who is sitting on that case. Ganifa Wemi would have taken the federal government to court. And those are the kind of cases he specializes in. He wasn't interested in all those other smaller cases. It's cases of federal government. You know, it was always Ganifa Wemi versus the Nigerian state. Ganifa Wemi would have taken these guys to court. And by the time you heard him speaking, he would have been speaking from a courtroom. Okay? That is what is expected of lawyers today. I respect the voice of Falana. Falana comes to speak out on issues he tries to make things clear to you. If you have an alternative viewpoint, you bring it to him and there will be a balance, because he will still explain things from the legal point, the way a lay person can also understand. Okay? But beyond that legal grammar, where is the action? Where is the corresponding work? It shouldn't be all talk and no work. We should be talking and also walking the talk. And more importantly, we should be walking the talk. So this is the emphasis of this discussion. We should be forming the right conversations. That means our conversations should be meaningful. They should deal with the real substance, the real issues and all of that. Okay? Then going forward, those conversations, those right conversations should lead us to right actions. We shouldn't just talk and go to sleep. If we talk and see the outcome, good. But if we don't see the outcome, we should act. And that is what this strategy of information, intelligence, and dialogue that I spoke about, I've been speaking about, that is what it means. Say, information, intelligence is supposed to be how we get the right information. That is number one. Getting the right information. And if journalists are reliable in Nigeria, they will always help us in that regard. They won't wait for issues to come up and they are nowhere. They will be the ones to report first. Okay? Getting the right information. Then having a dialogue, discussing like we're discussing now. And I believe many more people will like to come up and join the conversation. By God's grace, subsequently we'll be creating much bigger forum for that, much all-encompassing forum for that, so that the moment I'm coming up is more of conversation among participants. Okay? So, information intelligence, about how we get the right information. When we get it, we discuss it as Nigerians. And it doesn't end with discussing it as Nigerians. We now act on it. Okay? You don't act on nothing, of course. That's why we start with conversation. The Arab Spring, most of us know about it. How the people of Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, how they rose up against their leaders and chased them away. But after that, what happened? They took action, yes. But after that, what happened? The country came back to zero because there was no discussion before or after that event. It was just a moment something, like a fling, or how do they call it? The spell of the moment. They were angry, and then they reacted, chased those guys away. And when those guys were done, what happened to their country? They are worse, because there was no discussion. That's why this topic is important. You start by forming the right conversations. You know, if that kind of opportunity comes, and then you are people that have been discussing, it will not be difficult to transit, to make a meaningful transition. You'll be able to face your new reality and carry on well, make meaningful progress. Okay? So let's balance this. You start by forming right conversations, and that leads to right actions and outcomes. Okay? So that is what it is about. So many issues, like I said, have come up. The state of emergency in Rivers. The actors, the key actors in that saga, okay? From suspending an elected governor to handing over, to appointing a sole administrator and handing him the treasury of Rivers people. It's not just an assault on democracy. It's a crime against Rivers people. It's a crime against humanity. Okay? The president, one individual, is trampling on the rights of millions of people, a whole state. That is what it is. And honestly, I expected more. I expected a lot, especially from the people of Rivers. The very day that announcement was made, come out on the streets, protest. Okay? Because your fear will only make matters worse. When you say, I'm afraid that this will happen, a lot worse is already happening. If you are not careful, tomorrow will be too late. So, expected meaningful actions. Come out and protest. Come out and protest. And then let's see how Tinubu will now bring the military to kill you. Most times that is the fear these people have. But when people come out in overwhelming numbers, no, Nigerians, we are sleeping lions. We are not sleeping rats. Even the NSAS protests, if Tinubu has forgotten it, then it means the brain is no longer working. Because those NSAS protests shook the country. That is why they had to come up with their own counter strategies. I think the Nigerians were discussing progressively, preempting what those evil guys could do. Okay? Even that situation, they would have been able to overcome it. They would have waxed stronger over them. Okay? But just like I say, most times these protests come out of just angry reactions. Okay? They're not based on any consistent, logical pattern of discussion. And that is why the protest also ended like that. But the point I'm emphasizing is that Nigerians, when they come up, they are hard to contend with. If they are sleeping now, don't describe them as sleeping goats or sleeping rats. They are sleeping lions. And they could wake up anytime. That is the most unpredictable thing about Nigerians. But though I would prefer that we make ourselves predictable to ourselves through these engagements, through these conversations, so that we don't act accidentally, but we act intentionally. Okay? We don't wait to just react to things, but we take proactive steps all the time to achieve our new Nigeria agenda. Okay? Talk about the Natasha Akpoti saga in the Senate. Thank God she's taking actions. Thank God a good number of Nigerians have come up on that. Impressive. Okay? Impressive. But that obviously is not enough because the results are not yet there. In a lawful country, whether Akpabio and co in the Senate are guilty or not, they're supposed to go. They're supposed to go. And with Tinubu, they are Tinubu's gang. They are not doing anything without the knowledge of the man in Aso Rock. They are all supposed to go. Because these are clearly anti-people acts. These are the acts of war. It's war on the Nigerian people. Okay? And let me explain the case of Akpabio, why I say he's among those that should go. You don't sentence a person before hearing out the person. So, let's pretend that the Senate also wanted to do a hearing. The hearing has not been done, then you suspend an elected senator. And beyond the maximum allowed under law, because the maximum they say is 2 weeks, suspend an elected senator for 6 months. Okay, maybe that's Tinubu's dictionary too. Suspend an elected governor for 6 months. Suspend an elected senator for 6 months. Maybe the president should be suspended for 1 year. And based on how lawless things are, anyone can come and do that. And Nigerians may not even care. Okay? But as it is now, it has not yet gotten too much to us. So, in a nutshell, Akpabio has already given himself away. Even if this woman has not tendered evidence, we have psychology in crime. Psychologists will understand what I'm saying. When you look at a criminal, sometimes the way he's behaving, so you know that this guy is guilty. Why don't you want the woman's voice to be heard? Why don't you want hearing and all those proceedings to go on to completion? Normally it's when the investigations and everything is concluded that you can now say, to this senator misbehaved, so he should be sanctioned. And you don't sanction him or her for more than the required time allowed under law. Okay? Just like I said, we Nigerians too are gullible. We keep tolerating the intolerable. And that is what is killing us every day. That is what is killing hope. Just like I said, I won't give us false hope. So long as we allow these things without challenging them, expect the worst. Expect the worst tomorrow. I said this thing before emergency rule in Rivers State. I said it before the emergency rule was declared in Rivers State. None of us can tell what will be declared tomorrow. But as it is now, there's no democracy in Nigeria. There's no rule of law. Okay? Even in name, these things don't exist again. You can't even hear Tinubu, Wike, and Akpabio, who are the heads of the three arms of government. You can't hear them talking about democracy and rule of law again. They only talk politics. If you heard the president's speech declaring emergency rule in Rivers State, if you heard how he spoke recently about Wike, you know that that man definitely missed his calling in life. He was supposed to be party chairman, then some people have smuggled him as the president. Everything he's talking is just party, politics. Nothing about Nigerians concern him. Okay? Whatever they are doing or whatever he is doing there is not for Nigerians, it's for his party and himself. And maybe, yes, his family, that is himself. Okay? So, it's very unfortunate for Nigerians to expect that he will be there till 2027 and then they will come and dislodge him. He already knows you want to dislodge him. So is he going to wait for you till 2027? In any meaningful country, those guys should go. Okay? And it's constitutional. They can resign. They can resign. You, as citizens, can also ask them to resign. And that is part of what protests could be about. You know? Your president has impeachable offenses he has committed. The Senate is in his arm. The judiciary is owned by him now, pocketed by him, financed by him, dictated to by him. So who corrects him now? The only option, democratically, constitutionally, is for the citizens. Come out, say, we won't accept this anymore. And it's high time. It's not 2027, it's 2025, this April. The president should go. The FCT minister, who is also the Chief Justice of Nigeria, should go. The Senate president, who is a woman harasser and won't allow any case against him to be heard, should go. That's not something we should say, oh no, 2020. That is how we waited. 2023 came and people that knew how to snatch mandates at the national level especially, they did it. Even in some states, they were able to snatch it and run away with it. That is how they say it back. They snatched it and run away with it. So Nigerians, we really need to wake up. That is what I have been saying here since I convened this group. I say you don't wait till elections to say you are chasing evil people away, you are effecting change. It starts now. Your electoral system, what is being done about it? Okay? Yes, assuming you want to tolerate whatever pains Tinubu, Akpabio, and co. will give you till 2027. What about electoral reforms? Do you now want to wait till 2027, then you go to the polling unit and nothing has changed. But things have gotten worse. You can start your protest around there. Maybe instead of asking Tinubu to go because you are being sympathetic to the old man, you don't want the wife or child to suffer heart attack, you allow him to be there. Fine and good. At least insist on your powers to elect your leaders being restored back to you. And it starts now. The politicians are already aligning along and across party lines. It starts now. You can make your protest all about electoral reforms. And it's very critical, I've been saying it. Elections all over the world have advanced. Even in Africa here, some African countries, including Liberia, a sitting president lost to his political opponents. And it's because the electoral system was allowed to work. As you were voting, your one vote was showing on the screen. No one could go and manipulate it anywhere. That is the system we should insist on in Nigeria. And even INEC should not have power to shut down server. But when the server is running, even the political candidates should be wondering, how does the server run? Okay? If there's going to be a problem with any electronic aspects, there are online experts all over the world to look into it, to give a verdict, which is admissible in law. So, if you ask me, the only people to be afraid of electoral reforms are the current politicians at the helm of affairs. Okay? So, instead of directly asking them to go, you can start by insisting on electoral reforms. And that is where they will push you and me to chase them away. And it will be fine. It will be fine because they asked for it. You didn't ask for it. All you asked for was electoral reform. That's why you came out on protest. Okay? Interestingly, the set of people on the corridors of power today, they are the set of people that organize Occupy Nigeria. Chase Goodluck out of power. You all know about that movement, Occupy Nigeria. This is the time we need it most. Occupy Nigeria, occupy everywhere. Make sure the senators do the right thing. Let them give you your electoral reform bill the way you want it. Before you can let them go free, or before you can let them be. So we should have these clear discussions that clearly set the agenda. Okay, when you have discussions that clearly set the agenda for your country, it's easy to understand what you really want and go for it and achieve it. Okay? When you have the right conversations, it's easy to take the right actions and also achieve the right outcomes. Okay? So I'll be rounding this up by taking our attention to one or two recent issues. The killing of some armed persons said to be hunters in Edo State. Okay? I think that should be the caption. But some journalists, irresponsible as they are, will tell you the killing of northerners. And you all know the kind of result, the kind of counterproductive outcome such headlines produce. Okay? These were armed men. According to what we learned, they were apprehended by a vigilante. I don't know the other details of what happened. The vigilante now killed them. I think that is where the vigilante held. I love it that Nigerians are coming out from everywhere to speak about this. And I condemn totally that jungle justice. If I thought it was justice that was done, I condemn it totally. Jungle justice is not acceptable in a civilized society. Okay? The vigilante, they were supposed to hand over these guys to the police after apprehending them. And when you hand over, be proactive. Keep the discussion going. If they are doing something or not, keep the discussion going. Let Nigerians all be on it. Instead of taking laws into your hands and producing consequences we may not be able to predict or control. Consequences that may not benefit anybody in the end. So that's where the vigilante, I must say, got it all wrong. They were doing their job, that's true. But in the end, look at what they produce. Look at the outcome they produce. That is not the right outcome. Okay? The actions may have been right, but the outcome was not right. Because they were doing their job, they apprehended those people. Then even for the dead, because it's a question of not shifting blame to one side, even the dead have their part of the blame. Anywhere you go, you want to be a hunter, there must be a hunters association there. Register with them, operate with them. Let them know you. Whatever you are doing, even your movement, if you are going for a conference, if you are going for a hunting expedition, requiring you to carry such a heavy cache of arms, let the association be aware so they can back you up. Okay? So mistakes have been made by both living and dead. And I think that is something we should all learn from. Right? Then coming to this issue of northerners, the journalists who are not helping us. Nigerians are killed. Instead of you saying Nigerians are killed, you now say northerners are killed, southerners are killed, Igbos are killed. That is a very terrible way to set a conversation, to form a conversation. It's part of what is destroying this country. Okay? Let people be treated as citizens. Maybe when we go to our tribal enclave, then we can make those tribal discussions. But bringing them up on the national front line, it's not good. Now look at it. You have northerners, northern emirs, northern pastors, northern imams speaking about this now. Meanwhile, that same Edo State, there have been protests. Catholics came out with their bishops protesting the frequent kidnapping, killing of Catholic priests. Their priests in particular. And who did that? Whether it's even connected to that incident, nobody knows. Because the rate at which priests in particular are being kidnapped in that state is alarming. And what has been done? Nobody has made any special headline out of it. I didn't hear the Northern Governors Forum, Northern Senators, or what have you. I didn't hear them say anything about it. So why make security, why make justice all about tribe and religion? Why not country and humanity? I think that is where we need to get our conversations right as well. Okay? So, journalists, you are not helping us. You are not helping us. You don't even report most of these burning issues. In Benue State currently, whole villages are being overrun by Fulani herdsmen militia. Why is that not kept on the front burner of issues to discuss and act upon? Why are northern senators not saying anything about the killings in Benue State? Is crime only because it affects a particular tribe or religion? We should change the narrative. Seriously, we should change the narrative. Crime is crime, irrespective of whoever commits it against whoever. Okay? I love what my Idoma sister in Benue State did. Some of her Idoma brothers came for her. She didn't care. She defended herself. Okay? You are saying I'm an Idoma here. I'm condemning the killings that happen in Edo State instead of the killings going on against your Idoma people in Idoma land. She said, why you not post and talk about those killings? we should not make it about tribe or region. I would personally love it if a Benue person starts talking about killings in Zamfara. A Sokoto person starts talking about killings in Benue. To show we are all Nigerians. To show we're a serious country and that when we say justice, we mean justice. Let crime not be crime only when it affects us directly or people close to us or people from a particular designation. So that's where we'll keep it for today. Sorry, my apologies to my elder. I will reconvene this gathering soon, and I hope to inform you beforehand. Please bear with me. My battery, I'm getting battery signal from my gadget. So permit me, please. My apologies. I'll make this, like I said, to be more inclusive next time. So please bear with me, and when next we are online, be assured that it's an all-inclusive engagement. I've not had this before. You are the first person to indicate interest joining me on this live broadcast. And fortunately, or rather unfortunately, my battery, the gadget is already giving me a signal. So please keep a date. We'll still be here soon. And I hope to invite you before then to join. Especially, I have the highest regards for you. And for everyone listening, please, let's do this together. Even after you meet us here, if you didn't come live, but if you come across this video and watch it, and be sure to engage, drop a comment, whatever it is. And my elder who is waiting, please, even if it's comments, if I have 2 or 3 comments, it will be appreciated. Please, I'll personally engage you on them as soon as I see them. So thank you all very much. And just like I have said, don't forget, remember we're supposed to be forming the right conversations for the right actions and outcomes. Conversations, actions, outcomes. Right conversations, right actions, right outcomes. In that chain, that is how we should go. So let's go. See you again. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. And please, let's discuss and work for the best.